In this video, we're going to look at how to calculate the standard deviation of a set of data. The standard deviation is a new measure of spread. We already know one, which is the interquartile range, and we really know another, which is the range, although that's quite crude, so we don't use it. Now, you can think of the interquartile range as being like the cousin of the median, because we work them out in a very similar way. The median is the middle value, and the interquartile range is the gap between the 25% value and the 75% value. So if they're cousins, we can think of standard deviation and mean as being cousins as well, because we work them out. Well, it's not that similar in the method, but the standard deviation is going to use the mean, as you'll see. All right, so let's relate this to the following question. So we looked at this data before. We had this one shop, and then we had a second shop, and they had the same mean and they had the same median, and we use that as a motivating example to think about spread of data. Okay, we're going to relate this to shop 1 first. We'll come to shop 2 later. Now, there are two methods for working out standard deviation. I'm going to show you the first one first because it is a bit more intuitive in the sense of what we're actually doing. It is, however, much longer to work it out using this method, and once you've seen it once and maybe practiced it on one example, you'll probably never use it again. So do stick with me in this video, even though this is a method you're not likely to use. Remember, you can be asked to use it, or you could be asked to comment on someone else's work where they've used it. So you do need to know this, but remember, the next method we're going to look at is much quicker, so don't stress if you think this is very long-winded. All right, our strategy is basically as follows. We worked out previously that the mean of this data was 408.71. Now, one way to think about the spread of data is to think, how far are all of our data points away from the mean? And in fact, what we could do is try to work out a sort of average distance from the mean. We could visualize this in the following way. Suppose that we plotted all of our data on a number line, and we knew the location of the mean. So let's say that the mean was here, okay, and that's our 408.71. And our other points are distributed variously around this, sort of like so. Now, I'm probably going to get these in the wrong place, so don't worry about that. I'm not trying to do this accurately. I'm just trying to give you a picture. Okay, and then suppose that we looked at the distance of each of those points from the mean. So, for example, this point here is very close to the mean, and this point here is also quite close. This one here a little bit further away, and we could keep track of these distances. And on this side, we've got these kind of distances, and then we've got this point out here, which is really a long way away from the mean. And so one way to measure the spread of data is just to say, well, on average, how long are these red arrows? How far is our data away from the mean? Well, let's actually do that. Let's look at the differences then between each of our points and the mean. Okay, so in each case here, I'm just going to do our data point, and I'm subtracting the mean, and I'm writing down what we get. So 386 minus the mean is negative 22.71, and so on. And I can work through finding all of the differences between the data points and the mean. Okay, now, if I was to actually just add all of these differences together, I would find that it's 0. And that's a nice property of the mean, is that there are, the mean is the point where the kind of total difference above is equal to the total difference below. That's kind of what the meaning of it is. So I can't really find the average of these. What we do to get around the fact there's positives and negatives is we're going to square each of these differences and first find the average squared difference. And then finally, when we've got an answer, we'll just square root it. And that's going to give us approximately the average distance away from the mean. So I'll take each of these and square them. So here's some terminology to represent that. So what we've got here is each data point minus the mean, and then we're squaring it. So here's what we get for each of these points squared, and I'll keep track of what those are. Okay, now to find the average squared distance, we're going to use this formula. It's not really a formula, it's just some notation. So we add all of the terms up first, and then to find the average squared distance, we divide that by the total number of data points. So that means dividing by n, the number of data points. In our case, n is 7. All right, so with all of that keyed in, we do 60,591.402 divided by 7, and this is our average squared distance, which is 8,655.91. Finally, we square root that, and that's going to give us our standard deviation of 93.04. Okay, and we can even give units to this because, of course, we're measuring this in pounds. So there we go. All right, so in summary then, our formula is this. We take each of the data points, we subtract the mean, and we square what we've got. We then add all of those up and divide by the number of terms we've got. Finally, we square root this. Now, the symbol you'll see most often for this is sigma. Okay, Greek letter sigma. And sometimes you'll see sigma x to show it's the sigma of x, or the standard deviation of x. And the intuition is really important. The meaning of the standard deviation is basically the average distance from the mean. It's not exactly the average distance from the mean, literally, because we actually found the average squared distance, averaged those, and square rooted. So it's slightly different from that, but intuitively that's what you should think. The fact that we've got a standard deviation of about £90 tells me that for shop 1, most of the days, the earnings are within about £90 of the average. So the average was about £410. So I know that on a normal day, I will get somewhere between £90 more than that and £90 less than that. So that's the intuition for what the standard deviation means. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to show you the second method, which is quite a lot quicker because, as you can see, this is an awful lot of calculating here. So the second method is quite a lot quicker. But as I say, you do need to know this one. You just probably won't use it as much. So see you in the next video.